Hey guys, alright, we are back on our little daily drive and we're in a totally different area, but this traffic light is usually a nightmare. It never changes, so I'm going to get right up to it and let's see if it does. And then we have a crossroad. We're going to be turning right in a second, and yeah, it's changed to green. Perfect. So there we go. So now if you're not sure if anything's happening and you don't know the method, you kind of come up to it. There's no one there and we're just going to drive in. So that crossroad was nice and empty, so that was all right. Now we're coming up to signs coming up here, 40 miles an hour. Okay, junction up here and red light, so it's easy. And now you just have to remember the speed change. Okay, so a lot of times what happens is you end up coming past the sign, lights have changed, it's very easy to forget. So what is a good habit is sometimes see a speed sign, you just say it to yourself, okay, like 40 miles an hour. And sometimes it just helps jog the memory a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put the navigation on as well. So dual carriageway here. All right, speed sign is changing shortly. Have a look at that. Okay, and I shall be following that in a second. So we're going to be joining a motorway very shortly. There we go. We're going to be joining a motorway very shortly, and I thought that's why it would be quite good if we started the video and then you get to see how to join one. Nothing fancy, but it's just, you know, I don't really get the opportunity to do it much with the normal driving. So we're going to be following signs to go London over there. It's a left first exit coming up to the junction, big roundabout, and we're going to go left first exit. Okay, bikers ahead, always keep your gap from the bikers, okay, from anything really, but even more so with the bikers. And then off we go. So non-traffic light control roundabout, so I'm going to make sure it's safe and clear. Car coming round, they're in the outer lane, but they could come towards me, no one else is coming, and then off we go. Nice and easy, first exit, simple. Okay, all right, now we've got some roadwork signs, loads of signs here. Okay, really bright, 50 miles an hour, and normally it will be national speed limit if you're joining a dual carriageway, but at the moment it's not. And then we're going to join on to the slip road next to us. Just going to make sure. They've made some weird lines and markings here, and then now I'm going to have a look. No one's next to me, and we're going to exit from the slip lane. Okay, normally it's a lot clearer, but at the moment it's a little bit messed up because they've got all the roadworks coming up. Don't know if you can hear me at the moment, but there we go, that'll be better. Oh, it's so bright, wow. Oh, super bright. So now we're going to be following signs for London. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see it, so it's a good habit to check up. This is called a gantry. Okay, and then you're going to be looking up at those signs there for where you want to go. Okay, now we've got some markings on the ground. You've got some weird ones going over there. Still 50, so average speed checks here, and that should change shortly when we join the motorway properly in a second or so. All right, now you can see the signs changing. National speed limit sign coming up. Okay, so all the roadworks have ended, then we're back to normal national 70 miles an hour on a dual carriageway motorway, sorry, I should say. There we go. I was meant to say dual lane, but that came out wrong. All right, I'm just observing always around me, always good to know. Gap from the car in front who's not doing national yet, but slowly everyone's going to start picking up. So I'm going to start changing lanes, coming over and maintaining my gap. So I never want to be driving too close to any other vehicle really. So I'm going to stay in this position here, and now we've got 40, which is a bit odd, so we're going to try and drop it down a bit. Let's see what the caution is. So interesting. Let's see what the odometer says, 84 miles. All right, so normal caution signs. We're going to pick up the pace. I'm going to come back to the left lane a bit, into the middle lane. That car's there now, which has messed me up, and that was my fault really. I was trying to get out of the way of that car. and then I shall go back to that lane in a second. So more lane changing. There we go, and we are back. So national speed limit, and now you can see the slip lane coming in. There was one back there and I was just focused a bit too much on the car behind, which is where I made the error. So there we go. Damn, that's my engine service light just popped on, which I did not want. Now we're going to be following signs for London, carrying on straight ahead. So it's a good habit. We're going to try and always return back to the left lane. Okay, so I'm going to have a look in my side mirrors. The car right behind me, okay, who want to go faster probably. I've got a decent gap with that car there, decent gap there, smoothly and safely across, easy. Okay, and then that's all it is, really, really simple. And that's it. I'm going to put the aircon on, but I think my aircon's busted at the moment, so it's going to be blowing out hot air. Let's see. What car is that? Oh, it's a taxi. So nice and calm, decent gap. That car's got his indicators on. Maintain my gap from them. Teslas are quite good because most electric cars, the moment they accelerate, they got instant power, so they usually get away from you quite quickly, which is handy. Whereas a normal car can be a bit sluggish, so you might have to back off a bit. Again, it does depend on the driver, but I'm just going to readjust my mirrors there a little. So now as we're driving along, you can see that I'm always just maintaining a gap. Let's say for example my attention just sort of diverts a little bit, then at least I've got some play, you know, some we call it a buffer, just a bit of a cushion, just so that nothing really happens, nothing too risky, while maintaining pace. So I'm not dropping too far off, and maybe a bit now I am, but apart from that I'm not dropping off too much. And hopefully then, you see now the bike has come, so I'll back off a little bit. And he did a really sudden one. I bet he's going to leave maybe, but I'm surprised he did that early lane change there. Normally he'd leave a bit of a gap, but now I'm going to try and pick up the pace a little, but my right hand lane is busy, so I'm not going to lane change at the moment. They're also picking up pace. I'm kind of towards the 70 mark anyway, so if I need to go into that lane, I'll end up breaking the limit, so there's no need. And then I've got to make sure I'm not going to undertake that vehicle. So all of these little factors, trying to maintain your lane position most of the time. Look, even at these speeds, my hands are like, they're not fixated and they're not gripping tight. So look, this is a national speed limit road, hands off the wheel, the car's literally not moving. Look, so you literally just have to touch the wheel a little bit here and there. So, you know, just rest your hands on the wheel, be very relaxed if possible. The more experience you have, the more you can do this. I'm kind of using my palms a little bit here, you can see hopefully in the camera. But you know, if I hold back and look at the wheel again, look, the car's staying straight, car's pretty much staying straight. It'll move a little bit just because of the road shape, but like very subtle amounts, that even if I just fingertip it like this, like that, you know, it will stay in place. I don't need to grip it, I don't need to put all the pressure on the wheel, you know. So try and be relaxed, try and practice that relaxed approach to driving. You'll enjoy it then as well. I've mentioned this many times before about maintaining a calm and relaxed posture while driving, and it makes a massive difference. So that's something to keep in mind. This motorway is going to continue. There's not much, there you go, brake lights popped on. I was about to say not much carrying on. As soon as the brake lights come on, I was telling someone today, as soon as the brake lights come on, react. Don't just wait till you think that you're getting closer. Just react, back off, and you know, carry on slowly, you know, up to them. Because if they brake and then they suddenly brake really hard after that, it'll be a bit late, because you're going to end up you know, reacting very late. So keep that in mind. Try your best if possible to react as soon as you see someone braking. They brake, you brake. That's what I tend to promote a lot. So eyes on lights, and you'll react to their braking or whatever signals they give. If someone signals, most likely they're going to be ending up there you go, they're braking, I'm backing off, and I'm staying and maintaining my position. So even if they slam the brakes, I'm backing off. I also like to have a look now and then at, I shouldn't say like an escape, but a way out. You know, so if there is a big problem, do I have an alternative option to leave lane? You know, if I'm looking in that mirror, or in the middle mirror. So you know, I want to make sure I've got my options sort of covered. Can I leave if I need to? Is it going to be safe to do that? And you know, with a big gap and a nice gap there, you can get out of anything pretty much. You know, likewise, you obviously can tell on the left hand side you can leave there, but I'm more comfortable moving out on my right hand side because that's the closest to me, which is why undertaking is not allowed. If you guys didn't know why undertaking is not allowed, one of the reasons is we are right hand side drivers, and you're less aware of what's happening on your left hand side. So that's something to think about. That's one of the reasons why it's not allowed. But yeah, this is pretty much what motorway driving is. People are often like, oh, is it hard, is it difficult? And to be honest, it's easier than side roads, because as long as you maintain your gaps and you stay pretty calm and composed, you're not trying to speed all the time, it's quite relaxing. You just have to enjoy the environment, enjoy the drive. So you know, that's it for today. I think we're not gonna come across too much. They braking again. Look, I'm gonna brake again, start braking more. You see how this suddenly can get really intense all of a sudden. So as soon as they brake, you brake. You know, just trust me on this. You do that, you'll be fine. Because say for example I got really close to them and I ended up braking late, it will just bunch up and it'll freak me out if I realize, oh my god, I can't stop. That's the worst feeling. Your heart sinks at that moment. Now I don't want to go past this car because that would be technically undertaking, but you know, it's one of those awkward moments around these areas. So but yeah, apart from that, that is it. It's a nice environment, nice scenery around here. So hope that's helped you guys. If I would have lane changed more, that would have probably been better, but you had a bit of that at the start. And then you know, there's a car right there next to me, so that's why I'm not lane changing at the moment. But let's have a look now. Let's say I've got a nice gap there anyway. Say I wanted to lane change into that space there, but you can see that car there in the mirror. I'm looking at the camera deliberately, hopefully you can see it, and that's too close, so I'm not going to try and force a lane change. Okay, there's another car there, there's another one behind them as well. You can see it in the middle camera mirror as well. So I'm just going to chill, no pressure to lane change. I was telling someone today as well that when there are no cars, their lane changing was really nice and relaxed. So I said, clearly when there's cars and everything around you, it feels like you're under pressure to lane change, which is what you've got to then kid was waving, which is what you've got to then fight. And you've got to make sure that you're not trying to force a lane change when there's nothing available. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. So let's have a look at that car there. They're gaining on me now, so I potentially had a chance to go. Let's see if I can pick up the pace and go in front of them, just so we can do a lane change. So that's me, done one lane change. Big truck ahead, which I don't like being behind, so I'm gonna I would have always lane changed anyway just for the truck, but that worked out perfectly just now. Now I'm in the fast lane, I've done my lane change. I'm going to safely try and return back. Mirror, side mirror, relax with the steering wheel, signal, warn people, calm and relax. The car should hardly move when you lane change, okay? It should not be a sudden lane change. You should drift gently and glide across. I tell my students that you should lane change such that I don't even feel it. You know, so if I would have closed my eyes, it would be all right. Okay, so those are the little tips. There's some more cars. This car's going at the good correct pace, so can't really overtake it. However, now we've got these lines here, so it's a slip road joining on. If there was a car coming in that lane, I'd maybe back off or lane change sometimes to make it safer for them to join in. So now let's have a look. Let's see if we can do another lane change. Okay, so we got that Range Rover sort of coming up towards us. They're gaining on us now. You can see it in the mirror, you can see it in the main camera. Okay, and now I'm going to try and overtake this vehicle. I'm going to do mirrors, signal, and calmly look how gliding across. Look at this, really lightly. I'm not turning the wheel hardly. Okay, hopefully you guys learn from that. It's a longer process of a lane change. Okay, don't try and lane change suddenly, just smoothly across. Okay, it should be that calm usually, okay? They're braking, I'm gonna stay back. And plus, you know, when it's a bigger vehicle, I can't see around it. I hate getting close to something which I can't see around. All right, they're signaling, so now I'm gonna build up my gap a bit because they've encroached into my space. All right. Now we've got an extra lane popping up. I'm gonna check my mirror. I'm gonna try and come back to the left lane here, or the middle lane I should say. And often, I mean, another good habit is to return always back to the left, but at this speed I'm going to be overtaking all of them anyway, so let's try and do that now. So come back to the left just so you guys see another lane change. Okay, we've got that big vehicle ahead, and then I'm going to try and overtake that now. So I'm going to look in my mirrors, no one's there. They've got a nice gap there. I'm going to signal. I've warned everyone. I'm going to calmly come across like this. Okay, all the way across. Now we're going to, there's services on the left. Let's try and exit and join the motorway. Okay, so I'm going to come back in. All right, I'm going to stay behind this vehicle for a minute until we get to those services. Now I'm going to try and maintain a decent gap, try and stay back more and more. Okay, you never want to get too close. We're going to be leaving soon, which is why I don't want to overtake it yet. So let's see. So hopefully, I should have seen how far it was. It's probably a mile away, but let's see. That car just overtook it. And I can see around the vehicle, it's nice. I've still got a nice gap. I've got the sign popping up again, so I'm not looking to overtake yet. Services written on the ground. And then we're going to exit shortly. You should get some countdown markers soon, okay, that will warn us that we're coming up to our junction. You'll also get usually a sign telling me it's half a mile ahead. Okay, you can see it over there, half a mile, so that's not very long. So I'm just going to stay here for a sec, and then we shall lane change and leave the motorway, and then we'll join it back again in a second. So let's see. So now we've got the countdown markers, okay, and on motorways you also get these telephone things as well, these markers here, signs, and there's a telephone booth, I think that's the one. No, I can't tell. Anyway, but they have telephone, and those markers on the side, they tell you where the telephones are going to be. And when you do that, normally if they have cameras on the smart traffic junctions, they can actually block off a lane for you so that it's safer, and then you'll end up cars will go on in the middle lane and not near you, which is a lot safer obviously. So coming into the junction, we've just left the motor. We're going to join it back in a second, and then we shall continue our journey. So 30 miles an hour, things will change now in the services area, and all vehicles may remain outside. Okay, car park, and good. So we're going to be following around. M3.
In 1/4 mile, make a slight left turn.
So I'm just going to quickly pop into the petrol station area. I don't need to fill up fuel. However, I'm going to just signal here for a second because I need to reset my car quickly. There we go. So there we go. I'm just going to reset, and then all right. So unnamed, what is that? Interesting. All right. Now we're going to be leaving again, so we'll join the motorway in a second. Okay, so signs here, little exit there, make sure no one's whipping round. Okay, exit to this side, giveaway markings on the ground. Okay, these are all areas, if you don't know where you are or what you're doing, markings and signs, okay, all important. Right, so we should get signs for London and everything coming up soon, telling us where to go. M3 signs, that's the one we want.
Make a slight left turn now. Proceed on the current road.
So good. And we have now joined the motorway again. So now we're on a slip road, so I'm going to check in the mirror. That car's moving out lane for me. Check in my middle mirror. so you guys can see as well. Smooth gliding over into the lane, and that's how you utilize a long slip road. You take advantage of the length of the slip road. Okay, the shorter it is, the more likely you are to stop. Okay, the longer it is, the more you can build up your speed on it. Okay, so hopefully that's helped you guys. That's how you join up, that's how you do a few of the motorways. Nothing too fancy, just a little bit of lane changing and steering control, and hope that's helped. I shall see you guys in the next daily drive. Have a good one. Bye.